Many politicians and people in the arts are posting online mourning his death, but there's also a number of people creating a stir online.
Known for being one of the most powerful and secretive families in the world, the Rothschilds have long been surrounded by speculation and controversy. Will Rothschild, a prominent figure in the family, rarely made public appearances or granted interviews. However, shortly before his death, he sat down for a rare and deeply unsettling interview, and in this video, we're going to bring you all the information on it all. A tragedy. Will Rothschild, a man linked to the storied and powerful Rothschild banking dynasty, tragically lost his life in a devastating house fire on November 27, 2024. The fire occurred at his home on Lookout Mountain Avenue, located in the heart of the Hollywood Hills, one of Los Angeles' most historic and luxurious neighborhoods. The 45-year-old man was reportedly discovered dead inside the residence by firefighters after battling intense flames that engulfed the property. His life was marked by mystery, wealth, and an air of reclusion, which made his death that much more concerning. According to reports, 45 firefighters worked tirelessly for 33 minutes to extinguish the blaze. Despite their swift response, the damage was extensive, and the firefighters found Rothschild's body in the aftermath. Neighbors were among the first to identify the victim, though official confirmation from law enforcement and the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner remains pending. The exact cause of death has yet to be confirmed, and investigations into the fire's origin are still in progress. Initial findings suggest that the fire may have been caused by an electrical issue, but the authorities didn't confirm the situation at the scene. Will Rothschild was described as a figure of wealth, but was still mysterious. While his name is linked to one of the world's most well-known banking dynasties, his lifestyle diverged from the glitz and public attention associated with his family's legacy. Rothschild reportedly led a reclusive life, living in relative obscurity compared to other members of his well-established family. His modest, unassuming residence, an 825-square-foot two-bedroom home built in 1937, stood as his primary residence. While this home may have appeared small compared to the sprawling multi-million-dollar mansions that dominate the Hollywood Hills, it was Rothschild's retreat and haven during his later years. What stands out about Rothschild's life is how much his personal lifestyle differed from the lavish expectations that accompany his family name. His home, a charming but rustic property above street level, gave the impression that he valued seclusion over luxury. His death has left the local community in mourning and pondering the contrasts of his life. While the Rothschild name commands global respect and prominence, rooted in finance, philanthropy, and global influence, Will Rothschild's life reflected an intentional choice to live away from the spotlight. His modest residence, the once charming retreat that is now the scene of this tragedy, stood as a stark reminder of the dualities of wealth and privacy. Rothschild's passing has led to conversations among neighbors and locals about his life and his sudden, unexpected departure. The investigation remains open as authorities sift through the evidence and gather information about the fire's cause and how it led to Rothschild's death. Los Angeles County firefighters and the local fire department continue to follow leads, and forensic experts are combing through the burned remains of the residence. Preliminary reports suggest that faulty electrical wiring may have triggered the blaze, though this has yet to be confirmed as the cause. This information adds urgency to the investigation as the community attempts to make sense of such an unexpected and tragic event. Will Rothschild's story reflects the dual nature of wealth, its opulence and its burdens. While his family's name is synonymous with banking dynasties, global influence, and centuries of financial legacy, Will's quiet life paints a contrasting portrait of someone who chose solitude and privacy. As investigations continue, the memory of Will Rothschild will likely linger in the minds of his neighbors and the larger Hollywood Hills community. His death leaves many questions unanswered, and with it comes the inevitability of speculation. Yet, in the midst of the investigation and uncertainty, his story continues to unfold. Was he even one of them? Even though William de Rothschild claimed to be a member of the prominent Rothschild banking family, evidence suggests otherwise. Investigations revealed he was not listed in the official Rothschild family genealogy, which led to curiosity about how he acquired his name. Records indicate that William de Rothschild's real name was likely William Alfred Kaufmann. Kaufmann's younger brother, Richard Kaufmann, confirmed that William disappeared in the 1960s or 1970s and was presumed dead. Richard asserted that the family has no Jewish heritage or Rothschild connection, adding complexity to this mystery. A legal name change in 1985 saw William petition Los Angeles County Superior Court to adopt the name William Alexander de Rothschild, claiming that taking the name from his mother's side would simplify his life. The name change was granted, and it seems that this name became a critical element in his personal story. Neighbors shared that de Rothschild appeared to live a life of wealth, with a car collection that reportedly included Ferraris and Jaguars. Despite his seemingly lavish lifestyle, his modest 825-square-foot home, now burned and derelict, paints a different picture. Moreover, reports of his supposed donation of vehicles to LA's Peterson Automotive Museum could not be verified, adding to suspicions about his claims. The Rothschild family, historically influential in European banking, has faced imposters throughout its history. Mike Rothschild, author of Jewish Space Lasers, The Rothschilds and 200 Years of Conspiracy Theories, explains that the name carries aura and attracts imposters seeking status or financial gain. There are historical examples, such as Ina Yashishin, who posed as a Rothschild socialite in 2021, demonstrating how the name continues to attract intrigue. William de Rothschild's personal life adds further layers of mystery. Public records show he married Margot Merkin in 1999, a figure linked to the Merkin family, associated with the budget rent-a-car business. However, neighbors recall Merkin as being described as a cousin or sister rather than his spouse, complicating the timeline of his life. One neighbor shared, "As far as he goes, there's no deception on his part, absolutely not," adding that he was nice to everyone. "He never had a bad word to say about anyone, and he was a good neighbor. I considered him a good friend, and I'm really sorry that he's gone." De Rothschild's story underscores how names can create narratives, particularly when tied to a wealthy, historic family like the Rothschilds. It leaves open the question, how much of his identity was self-created, and why? More importantly, is this even possible? Can someone actually get away with something like this? Assuming a false name, especially one tied to a prestigious lineage or historical family like Rothschild, raises questions about how individuals manage to maintain such identities and what challenges they might encounter. This kind of name can hold significant weight due to its historical ties to wealth, banking, and influence. Whether through financial schemes, personal reinvention, or attempts to avoid legal trouble, adopting false names has been a tactic employed by many individuals over time. Still, such an endeavor is fraught with risks, particularly when the assumed name has deep societal and historical connotations. The Rothschild family name, for instance, carries centuries of history tied to banking and international finance. With this name comes both privilege and scrutiny. As such, impersonating a name like William de Rothschild, or any name associated with this famous family, would be a risky venture. While some might attempt this for financial gain or to escape certain circumstances, maintaining the illusion would require careful maneuvering. Names tied to wealth, power, or aristocracy have a long history of being adopted by those with ulterior motives. Using a name like Rothschild could imply status, credibility, or access to resources. It could make it easier to infiltrate elite social circles, access financial opportunities, or manipulate institutions. In some cases, individuals may choose to adopt these names to provide the appearance of lineage, status, or even influence. One reason that names like Rothschild are appealing is their association with wealth and power. For over 200 years, the Rothschild family has been a symbol of international banking dominance. Originally based in Frankfurt, Germany, members of the Rothschild family established banking networks throughout Europe, with major financial hubs like London, Paris, and Vienna as their focus points. Their name is synonymous with privilege, status, and influence, making it a tempting choice for someone looking to elevate their credibility. Historically, individuals attempting to fake or co-opt a name such as this might aim to exploit financial institutions or infiltrate social systems. The Rothschild name itself is known for its association with international monetary influence, historical aristocracy, and even political intrigue. Therefore, those impersonating a member of the family could potentially gain entry into financial or political opportunities by leveraging that name's weight. The mechanics of assuming a name like William de Rothschild would involve careful attention to historical research, forgeries, and the construction of a convincing identity. One of the most important tools for this would be the use of false documents. Forged birth certificates, passports, or other identifying paperwork would likely serve as the foundation of such an identity. Identity thieves and fraudsters rely on a combination of these documents and careful deception to create a facade of legitimacy. With enough financial resources, it is possible to forge or falsify official identification. Even if individuals have no legitimate ties to the Rothschild family, they could establish accounts, enroll in financial systems, or attempt to gain political or social status by leveraging these forged documents. In the modern world, assuming such names has become easier due to the proliferation of online information. By presenting themselves with a well-researched backstory, individuals can present convincing narratives of heritage or affiliation. Social media, digital records, and other avenues make it possible to reinforce false identities through layers of seemingly legitimate proof. Although the idea of adopting a name like William de Rothschild sounds plausible at first, the risks involved make it a dangerous endeavor. When someone chooses to impersonate a name that has historical weight, they open themselves up to scrutiny. Financial institutions, government agencies, and law enforcement bodies rely on various background checks, and an assumed name with historical significance like Rothschild would likely raise red flags. Yet, somehow, he got away with it anyway? The shocking part is that if he actually wasn't part of the real family, he was able to get away with posing as a part of it for almost 5 decades, and no one found out. One of the most powerful families of all time, the Rothschild family's history is one of wealth, intrigue, and power. It all began in 18th century Frankfurt, Germany, with Meyer Amschel Rothschild, who transformed a small banking business into one of the most powerful financial dynasties in European history. His keen business acumen and unmatched ability to build wealth laid the foundation for the Rothschild name to become synonymous with European aristocracy and global finance. By the 19th century, the Rothschilds had expanded into England, France, and other European nations, becoming a driving force behind politics, international trade, and global financial systems. Rumors at the time even hinted at their influence over crown choices and the weather, reflecting the immense reach they seemed to possess. At their zenith, the Rothschild fortune was legendary. Their wealth was so immense that it was said to make even Scrooge McDuck's legendary vault of gold look modest by comparison. As their name grew, so did their reputation, and their financial system proved influential not only in business, but in world affairs. Over time, their fortune has been divided among numerous descendants, many of whom have moved into fields like real estate, energy, and philanthropy. Among these descendants was Will Rothschild, a figure less known for financial maneuvers and more for his understated life. Will was the kind of Rothschild who broke the mold by living a much quieter existence. Known simply as Will to his friends and neighbors, he was far from the typical image of a high-powered financier. His pursuits were far more personal, focusing on barbecue mastery, his cherished collection of garden gnomes, and the joy of collecting vintage cars. On Wednesday afternoon, tragedy struck as a fire engulfed Will Rothschild's Hollywood Hills residence. Eyewitness accounts describe an explosive scene with enormous flames and the shattering of glass as the house became a towering inferno. A neighbor, Dana Gladstone, recalled hearing a woman in shock remarking on the grim event, likely referencing the confirmation of Rothschild's death. While official identification and the cause of death remain under investigation by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, reports strongly indicate that Rothschild was indeed the victim. Will Rothschild was a man with many interests, including his prized collection of rare vehicles. Among these was a red Porsche, once owned by Michael Jordan and reportedly sold for $500,000 at auction last year. Rothschild kept this car and others at his residence or at a nearby property equipped with multiple security cameras and adorned with statues of historical figures like Raphael and Michelangelo. His collection, combined with his love of rare vintage cars and dogs, reflected his passion for classic treasures rather than a life of financial power plays. His Afghan hound was supposed to be with him but wasn't found. Neighbors feared it might have been lost in the blaze. Rothschild's neighbors described him as kind and approachable, frequently sharing anecdotes about his time at Yale University and his admiration for his beloved pets. He wasn't someone anyone would want to hurt, so if someone did this to him, it would be shocking. Other family members could have been targets too. In November 2024, Italian prosecutors reopened the investigation into the deaths of Will Rothschild and the former Lady de Rothschild as a double murder investigation. Questions swirl around the timing of the investigation. Why now? Speculations range from cryptic clues hidden in a boar's diary to ghostly revelations from a sning dog, whispering secrets from beyond the grave. While these theories sound far-fetched, they reflect how wild speculation often fuels cases linked to powerful families like the Rothschilds. Such stories reignite public interest by mixing financial power with unresolved scandals and even rural Boer legends. The deaths of Will Rothschild and Lady de Rothschild have made the speculation about the family's tragic past worse. Both deaths have members of the public grappling with the dual weight of personal tragedy and unresolved questions. One notable theory gaining traction suggests that the events leading to these deaths may tie into other Rothschild tragedies and the strange patterns of family wealth building. The investigation brings questions about financial legacies linked to family deaths. Some X-platform users point out historical instances suggesting a trend where deaths in the Rothschild family coincided with opportunities for wealth. Notably, Jacob Rothschild's story serves as a key historical example. Before his death, Jacob Rothschild made headlines for breaking away from the family banking dynasty to forge his own financial path. His departure came in 1980 after years of internal debate, with Jacob founding J. Rothschild and Company, which would later become RIT Capital Partners. Jacob's decision was a sharp deviation from the traditions of family banking, as his father Victor and cousin Evelyn de Rothschild largely supported the preservation of family control and financial traditions. His vision was clear: modernization and financial diversification, reflecting his belief that change was essential for survival. His new venture demonstrated innovation and strategic investments across industries, marking a turning point in the Rothschild family's modern financial evolution. Today, the Rothschild family maintains its influence through various heirs who shape finance, philanthropy, and media. Hannah Rothschild, for instance, carries on the family legacy through her role at Yad Hanadiv, a philanthropic foundation in Israel. She embodies the Rothschild tradition of charitable giving, combining arts, culture, and social responsibility. Similarly, Nat Rothschild has brought innovation to the financial world through his role as executive chairman of Volex, mirroring the strategic and adaptive business acumen that defined his ancestors. Another member of the Rothschild family, Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, leverages her influence through leadership roles in media and political discussions. Her involvement showcases how members of the family continue to evolve while staying connected to their shared legacy. These Rothschild heirs emphasize innovation while upholding the family's philanthropic commitment and strategic business principles, ensuring the family remains a global powerhouse even as financial and societal landscapes change. Hannah Rothschild, the eldest child of Lord Jacob Rothschild and Serena Dunn Rothschild, has established herself as a distinguished figure in the arts and literature. As an accomplished author, Hannah has published critically acclaimed novels such as House of Trelawney and The Probability of Love, both of which explore themes of wealth, power, and family dynamics, topics reflecting the complexities of her own heritage. Her literary achievements are complemented by her leadership roles, notably as the first female chair of the National Gallery in London from 2015 to 2019. During her tenure, she spearheaded initiatives to improve public access to art, continuing the Rothschild family's tradition of philanthropy and cultural enrichment. Additionally, Hannah serves as the chair of Yad Hanadiv, the Rothschild family's philanthropic foundation in Israel. Nathaniel Nat Rothschild, the youngest son of Jacob and Serena Rothschild, has forged his path in business and finance, serving as the executive chairman of Volex, a global electrical manufacturing company. Nat exemplifies strategic financial thinking with innovative investments and entrepreneurial skill, reminiscent of his ancestors' banking success. Despite his success, he maintains a low public profile, focusing on his business ventures rather than media attention. Lynn Forrester de Rothschild, the widow of Sir Evelyn de Rothschild, is another key member of the family with substantial influence. As CEO of E.L. Rothschild, she oversees diverse investments, including media assets like The Economist Group. On the other hand, David Meyer de Rothschild has contributed his efforts to environmental causes, emphasizing sustainability and climate change awareness. His work with the Lost Explorer, a sustainable clothing brand, shows his commitment to environmental solutions while maintaining the family's legacy of adaptability and innovation. Following the passing of Lord Jacob Rothschild at 87 in October 2024, attention has focused on his heirs, particularly as they inherited a fortune estimated at $1 billion. To further illustrate the family's wealth, a 2023 auction hosted by Christie's in New York highlighted the Rothschilds' collection, raising $62.6 million. This marked the first major North American sale of works from the French branch of the family's estate. Among the highlights was Gerrit Dow's 17th century A Young Woman Holding a Hare with a Boy at a Window, which fetched over $7 million, and rare 18th century European pieces like Louis XV's gilt walnut fauteuils, with one pair breaking records at $6.2 million. Other treasures, like a Dutch silver gilt-mounted Nautilus cup from 1607, drew attention, with its sale price reaching $1.5 million, purchased by the Cleveland Museum of Art. The auction demonstrated the Rothschild family's taste in fine art and history, while drawing a diverse group of bidders from around 40 countries. Millennials accounted for about 15% of participants, a reflection of the enduring interest in rare historical artifacts and the Rothschild legacy. While the Rothschild family's financial influence has stood the test of time, questions linger about how they managed to maintain this level of wealth over generations, balancing banking traditions with diversification and strategic investments. How'd they do it all? The Rothschild family's financial empire is one of the most prominent and influential in global history, with their wealth managed through a series of well-established financial institutions. The two primary entities at the heart of their operations are Rothschild & Co. and the Edmund de Rothschild Group. These companies operate across different financial sectors, managing investments, banking services, and asset management strategies for wealthy families, institutions, and corporate entities worldwide. Both have long legacies rooted in traditional banking while adapting to modern financial trends. Rothschild & Co., headquartered in Paris and London, represents the modern-day banking legacy of the Rothschild family. The institution is a multifaceted financial entity engaged in private banking, mergers and acquisitions advisory, capital markets, and wealth management. As of 2023, the firm reported impressive revenues of €2.54 billion and managed €108 billion in assets. Their success lies in their ability to tailor wealth and asset management strategies to the shifting financial climate and their strategic positioning in lucrative markets. Recently, Rothschild & Co. expanded its global reach by opening a new wealth management office in Dubai to cater to high-net-worth families and businesses in the Gulf region. This strategic expansion represents an effort to strengthen its presence in the Middle East, a rapidly growing economic market. Additionally, Rothschild & Co. has diversified its financial services by launching fund of funds focusing on exchange-traded funds, offering a cost-effective and flexible investment solution to investors looking for strategic diversification while minimizing risk. This adaptability and diversification are reflective of Rothschild & Co.'s historical approach, rooted in innovation while maintaining its core business areas of investment banking, asset management, and advisory services. The Edmund de Rothschild Group was established in 1953 and has its roots in private banking and asset management, focusing on conviction-driven investments. Unlike the broader, multi-sector approach of Rothschild & Co., the Edmond de Rothschild Group has prioritized strategic diversification through acquisitions and partnerships. As of 2022, the group managed approximately CHF 158 billion in assets and maintained a presence across 14 countries. One of the most significant strategic moves by Edmond de Rothschild Group came in 2021 with their acquisition of a 42.5% stake in the UK-based Hottinger Group, a wealth management firm. This acquisition solidified the group's position within the European market and enhanced their ability to offer comprehensive wealth management services across Europe. Additionally, under the leadership of Ariane de Rothschild, who became CEO in March 2023, the group has emphasized creating strategic partnerships to better position itself amidst economic shifts. A unique feature of the Edmond de Rothschild Group is their Edmond de Rothschild Heritage label, which manages diversified assets beyond traditional financial markets. This includes luxury wineries, luxury hotels, and exclusive restaurants, showcasing the family's efforts to preserve and promote cultural heritage. This foray into heritage assets represents diversification that aligns with both modern market trends and traditional Rothschild values of legacy preservation. The Rothschild family's modern financial strategy has centered on diversification and innovation. Rothschild & Co.'s move into ETF fund investments and Dubai's emerging wealth management market demonstrate this strategy. Similarly, the Edmond de Rothschild Group's strategic acquisitions, such as Hottinger Group's stake, represent calculated efforts to maintain and expand their European and international foothold. In addition to financial investments, the Edmond de Rothschild Group uses its heritage label to manage cultural investments. From wineries to luxury properties, they do it all. The Rothschild family remains among the most recognizable names in the world of finance, with their dual focus on strategic financial investments and diversification through unique acquisitions. Rothschild & Co. continues to lead in areas such as wealth management and ETFs, while the Edmond de Rothschild Group's international acquisitions show adaptability to European market demands. Their approach demonstrates a blend of tradition and modern-day financial strategies while navigating scrutiny, secrecy, and the numerous conspiracy theories that have defined their public image. With their established success, strategic acquisitions, and adaptability in an ever-changing financial landscape, the Rothschilds continue to cement their influence in global finance. They've been able to respond to market trends without compromising their family legacy for over 2 centuries of strategic financial acumen. Yet something about them isn't quite right. Silence above all, conspiracy theorists often interpret Rothschild's silence in interviews as an implicit acknowledgement of guilt or complicity in secretive global schemes. However, a more logical explanation is that Rothschild simply chose not to engage with unfounded and often convoluted allegations. One such significant historical reference linked to the Rothschild name is their connection to the Balfour Declaration, a pivotal document with profound effects on the Middle East and the global Jewish community. In a 2023 interview, Rothschild discussed his cousin's role in what he termed the miracle of the Balfour Declaration, emphasizing their family's influence behind diplomatic developments that resulted in the historic declaration. The Balfour Declaration, issued by the British government in 1917, was only 67 words long, but reshaped the Middle East's geopolitical map and became a foundational document for the establishment of the modern state of Israel. It declared British support for the creation of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, while ensuring that the civil and religious rights of non-Jewish communities living there would not be undermined. The context of its drafting was shaped by a volatile geopolitical climate, Zionist advocacy efforts, and strategic British interests during World War I. Among the influential figures involved in shaping its eventual success was Dorothy de Rothschild, whose behind-the-scenes efforts proved critical. Though lesser known compared to other members of the Rothschild family, Dorothy played a key role in advancing the Zionist cause and connecting Chaim Weizmann, one of the most prominent leaders of the Zionist movement, to influential British policymakers. Through strategic social connections and her network of influence, Dorothy provided Weizmann with advice on navigating the complex British political landscape and advocated for his vision of a Jewish homeland. Her extensive correspondence with Weizmann and other leaders showcases her strategic role in the Zionist movement, particularly in building support within the British establishment. Preserved letters at Wadston Manor, a Rothschild family estate, underscore her dedication and tactical efforts. Her ability to connect key leaders with decision-makers ultimately strengthened the case for the Balfour Declaration, securing British support for a Jewish homeland in Palestine. Dorothy's understanding of the importance of political alliances and her adeptness at navigating international diplomacy proved instrumental in advancing the Zionist movement during a period of tremendous uncertainty. But not all of them are as quiet. In a July 2023 interview with Vogue, author Hannah Rothschild provided insights into her novel High Time and its exploration of family dynamics, aristocratic legacies, and personal autonomy. Hannah Rothschild is the great-great-granddaughter of Mayer Amschel Rothschild, the founder of the Rothschild banking dynasty. Her novels are deeply rooted in examining themes of power, family, wealth, and societal changes. Her latest work, High Time, builds on the themes introduced in her earlier novel, House of Trelawney. Both books delve into aristocratic decline and themes of financial ruin, social expectations, and personal identity. High Time is particularly noteworthy for its exploration of life during the months leading up to Brexit, with a focus on Aisha, the illegitimate daughter of the late Anon Trelawney. As Aisha unravels family secrets, the story examines the tension between duty, autonomy, and personal freedom. Hannah Rothschild's storytelling combines satire, wit, and a reflective lens into the lives of troubled, privileged families grappling with modern challenges. Her interview explored these themes while highlighting her talent for blending historical insight with modern-day satire. Rothschild's focus on themes like family expectations, societal pressures, and financial aspirations mirrors the timeless challenges faced by aristocratic families, whether in fiction or reality. But with how secretive and selective this family is about everything, it leaves many questions about Will in his wake, questions that we might never find answers to. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.